Right guys, today I wanted to make a video on one of the transfer rumours that is doing the rounds, as it is now only just over a week I think until transfer deadline day. So today, the biggest rumour at the moment is probably Anthony Gordon to Chelsea. So the report reads, Chelsea are confident that they can see a deal for 21-year-old Everton attacker Anthony Gordon this week, with talks over the transfer of the England under-21 international ongoing. And that is being reported by the Times. So yeah, for me, I'll give this transfer a rating straight away. 4. Anthony Gordon's a very good player and will go on to be a very good player, I think. But this is a Chelsea team who are absolutely desperate for a striker who can score goals. And they've already got a lot of players in wide positions. They've got Sterling, Pulisic, Ziyech, Hudson-Odoi, Mount even sort of plays that role. They've got so many players in those two positions off the striker. And yet in that striker position, they've only really got Kai Havertz and Armando Broja, who they don't seem very keen to use. So yeah, it's a bit of a strange one why they're going to try and sign Anthony Gordon when it's clear what they're desperately in need of. Because Anthony Gordon, he was brilliant for Everton last season, big reason why they did stay up in the end. But this season so far, he's played a lot down the middle because Everton themselves are lacking a striker, and he's had very little impact on the games compared to when he has been playing on the left wing for Everton, cutting inside. I mean, as a player, he's good enough to play for a team of Chelsea's level. Like he's got most things a winger needs. Like he's got a good shot on him, he can dribble, he's got pace. But it's just like Chelsea have just signed Raheem Sterling to play the exact same position that Anthony Gordon will play. So why on earth would you try and spend another 60 million on another player in the exact same position when you've got other positions that need players more? So yeah, very bizarre to me. And also the rumoured fee of about £60 million. Again, it's another overpayment by Chelsea. I think the two signings of Sterling and Koulibaly, they're good signings for Chelsea. They paid about the right price for both players. But Cucurella, I think, was an overpayment. Chukwuemeka, hard to tell really, still very young, but 20 million is a lot for a teenager with little experience. And again, 60 million for Anthony Gordon. I wouldn't pay 60 million for Anthony Gordon at this stage in his career. Probably 30 is a good fee for Everton to get for him, I think. But the fact that they've asked for 60 million and Chelsea are willing to pay it, then fair play to Everton's negotiating team. But yeah, I also think this would be a bad move for the player as well, purely because of game time reasons. Like Everton, he's a guaranteed starter now, especially now that Richarlison has left. He's probably one of the first names on the team sheet at the moment, alongside players like Jordan Pickford and who else? James Tarkowski. And that's it really. That's how poor it's got for Everton at the moment. Maybe Vitali Mikalenko as well. But yeah, I do think he would struggle for game time if he went to Chelsea. Obviously, Chelsea are a team who are in the Champions League. They usually go on at least one good cup run a season. Last year, they made the final of both cup competitions. So he would still get some game time, but it wouldn't be anywhere near the amounts he'd get if he was to stay at Everton. And also, he's probably got a very outside chance of making the World Cup. If he goes to Chelsea and just sits on the bench until November, that's not going to help his chances at all if he has any aspirations of getting into Gareth Southgate's England team. I know even that's a stretch because playing for Everton as a forward it's quite hard to get recognised for doing well because of how poor Everton are at the moment. But yeah, I just don't see this as a good transfer for Chelsea at all. But also, Chelsea, how much money are they going to spend this summer? Because if this transfer goes through, they've spent 60 on Cucurella, 47 on Sterling, so straight away that's about 110. 40 on Koulibaly, 150. 20 on Chukwuemeka, that's 170. They bought that Italian midfielder for about 10 million, 180 million. So add another 60 to that, that's 240. If they're still trying to sign Wesley Fofana, they're going past the £300 million mark, which is ridiculous, really, when you think about it. And it's not even like the greatest haul of players in one transfer window of all time, is it really? So, yeah, it just seems like Chelsea are, it almost seems like the owners are just like, right, we need to just get the fans on side, make a load of exciting signings that we haven't really done too much research into. Like Koulibaly and Sterling, fair enough, they're no-brainers. They're both great players. You sign them if they're available. And Cucurella, yeah, he's a very good player, but if you're having to stump up 60 million for him, surely there's better options than that. You would have thought it anyway, especially considering you've already got Ben Chilwell to play that role anyway. So yeah, it's a little bit confusing what Chelsea are doing so far this transfer window. And also, Chelsea are a team who not long ago have had problems with financial fair play. Like, I can't think of any major sales that Chelsea have made this summer because a lot of the players they've lost have gone on free transfers, like Antonio Rudiger and Andreas Christensen. So again, is that going to come into effect if they spend a ridiculous amount this summer? I suppose they've sold Timo Werner back to Leipzig for 20 million, but do wages count towards financial fair play? Because if they do, that can make a big difference as well with Lukaku. Rudiger as well. But yeah, the performance against Leeds at the weekend, Sterling was one of Chelsea's better players. He was the one who, in the first half especially, was looking like he was going to cause Leeds any sort of problems. In fact, he was the one who put the ball in the back of the net and came close a second time as well. So Gordon isn't what Chelsea should be prioritising in this last week of the transfer window. They need something else. They need a forward, a centre forward, maybe another central midfielder, and maybe another wing back or centre back, someone who can play both positions. Because they're the positions they're weakest in. They're not weak in wide positions in their front three at all. So, yeah, I'm a bit amazed by this one. And also, if Everton do let Anthony Gordon go, their forward options are Dwight McNeil, who last season failed to score a single goal for Burnley. Salomon Rondon, we all know what Everton fans think of him. And Damari Gray, who has like hot spells, but usually is very hit and miss. He'll get you 5 goals a season, but not much more. So the forward options Everton will have if Anthony Gordon leaves, then they'll be struggling, especially if Dominic Calvert-Lewin keeps up his fitness record that he currently has over the past 18 months. But anyway, thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you next time.